smiles like lightning to my soul. Should've known that she was making witchcraft. Should've known that she would steal my soul. She asked me for a dance, then she cast her temptress spell. Seductive moves and whispers like a siren sent from hell. She told me where her room was and she beckoned me to go. Her body heat washed over me like a steaming lava flow. I should have known that she was making witchcraft. I should have known that she would steal my soul. I should have known that she was making witchcraft. The lure of her seduction made the devil's dark nights moan.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark with our host, Gary Anderson.
And here I am, and we have a great show tonight with a great author, Tim Swartz. Hey, Tim, are you still with us?
I'm still with you. Can't get rid of me that easy, Gary.
Okay, I promise I would never try to do that to you. But I tell you what, I'm drinking too much tea tonight, and it's going to have its fatal effects here before 10 a.m. our time, or 10 p.m. our time.
It'll keep you going for the duration of the show.
Yeah, a lot of caffeine, which I need. I'm not, going from a 3-hour show to a 4-hour show is going to take a week or two to get used to it. I'll tell you that much.
Well, but I'm sure that your listeners appreciate it. I mean, it's just more of this show to love.
Oh yeah, and then starting next week, we're going to have 2 guests on each night, and I'm so excited we have Whitney coming on, and he's going to tell us about his latest book and about his abductions and ongoing abductions and all that stuff. So that's going to be a real good show.
I'll be sure to tune into that one. It's a subject I've always been interested in.
Oh, yeah. So, again, they keep finding black holes and more and more. So, for years, I always thought, there's only one black hole that we have to worry about. Now it seems like there's a whole bunch of them here, just not far away from where we're standing.
Well, I'm not gonna stay awake at night worrying too much about it. Though, okay, if you're worried, I just heard not too long ago the speculation. That there has always been the suggestion that there is another planet at the very outer edge of our solar system. We refer to it as Planet X, possibly as big, if not bigger, than Jupiter, due to the apparent gravitational pull on several of the outer planets, Uranus and Neptune in particular. Well, there's been a suggestion not too long ago that rather than being a giant planet, this could be a small black hole that's in orbit around our solar system. Not, I don't know, probably smaller than an asteroid, but still with enough gravitational pull that you can see the results on the outer planets of the solar system. So it's an interesting theory.
Yeah, I mean, but haven't they had a theory that Planet X has been next to our planet in the past, and I'm just wondering then if that's the case, then that black hole would have had to work its way in and back out through our system.
Well, you have the writings of Zacharias Sitchin, who based that on the Babylonian cuneiforms that he translated, and rather than taking these stories as, say, like a mythology, Stitchin brought it more into the 20th century with the conception that what if these beings and events that were being written about actually took place, rather than being, like gods and demigods and things like that. What if these were extraterrestrials that came to planet Earth from a larger planet called Nibiru, which was on a eccentric orbit around the solar system, and periodically, I can't remember, like every 10,000 years or something like that, it would come close to the inner planets. And when it does that, naturally, due to wherever, say like Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, were located in their orbital path, Nibiru could have disastrous effects, which could have been some the reason for some of the natural disasters, extinction events that we've noticed in the past. It's an interesting theory, and for the past 20 years, I think there's been people writing and going on the internet saying that Nibiru is heading towards the solar system right now, or the inner solar system right now, and that there's a conspiracy with scientists and governments to keep it a secret to stop a panic. But I have to say that if a planet as large as Nibiru is supposed to be was heading towards the inner solar system, we would have seen it long before it got close enough to be creating any deviations on the inner planet's orbital path. So that's something that I don't think you need to worry too much about, at least currently.
Well, I've been hearing about that since the early 90s, and
Yep.
it hasn't happened yet. I mean, it's a good theory, but again, maybe like you mentioned, it could be a black hole. But another thing, though, if it was a black hole and it did kind of venture into our solar system, you think about Mars. Something at one time destroyed its atmosphere.
Yes. Well, apparently there was some kind of nuclear event that happened on Mars about, I think, maybe about 5 million years ago. Some of the Mars rovers that have been on the surface of the planet, and the Mars observers in orbit have detected a specific type of atomic isotope that, at least as far as we know, is not produced by nature. It is the result of atomic explosions. And Mars has an abundance of this atomic isotope, and in fact they've been able to determine, due to its decay, how far back that this event happened. Like I said, I think it was around maybe about 5 billion years ago, seemingly around the same time that Mars lost its atmosphere and that its oceans started to dissipate. They actually been able to determine where these atomic events took place. There was 2 of them, and one of them took place close to Cydonia on Mars, where the controversial face on Mars was originally observed in the early 1970s. So something happened on Mars. Now, some scientists right now, rather than trying to deny these results, these scientific detections of these isotopes, are trying to come up with various theories on how this could have been a natural event. I guess in South Africa, someplace in Africa, a few billion years ago, there actually was in a place where there was an abundance of uranium deep in the ground. It actually created like a natural nuclear reactor that heated up the ground and worked for a while. So they're trying to come up with a way that possibly this could have happened on Mars. But as far as we know now, there's no natural way that I think it's Xeon. I don't have my notes in front of me here, but as far as we know right now, there's no natural way that this kind of atomic isotope can be produced in such abundance. It had to have been some kind of intelligent interaction, war, what have you. Nobody really knows. I mean, you can speculate, endlessly, but unless we come up with that time machine, Gary, and are able to travel back into the past and check it out for ourselves, that's all we have. We see the results of something that happened, but how it happened, why it happened, right now it's just speculation.
Well, it makes me wonder, like our own planet. I have always felt that this planet has been rebooted at least once, maybe twice. I mean, it's just certain things that exist that predate, our civilization. And it makes you wonder what happened here. Did we have a nuclear war and then wiped out pretty much all the population, except maybe whatever went underground, and we started over again, pretty much as a Stone Age? Again, maybe Mars could have had the same type of situation, only 10 times worse, where it totally ended any life other than microbes, organisms, took it out.
Well, one of the things that's interesting, Gary, is that around the time that Mars was dying, there was also an extinction, a very major extinction event taking place here on Earth. Now, this was back so far in the past that not even the dinosaurs existed. I mean, most life was in the oceans, but there was a period where practically everything on the planet died. I can't remember now. It was like maybe 90%, 95% of all life on the planet died, and then the life that emerged afterwards took on very bizarre forms, like nothing that had ever been seen previously before that extinction event. So some scientists have speculated that whatever had happened at Mars, if you want to take the natural route, whatever happened on Mars actually blew chunks of it off of Mars onto Earth, and we know that does happen. I mean, we have found Martian rocks in places like, say, Antarctica, and seeded our planet with whatever life existed on Mars, and then as it evolved, it became us. We are the Martians.
And that is so true. I really feel that maybe that's what got our planet reseeded or seeded in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you said that you think the planet Earth may have been rebooted at least several times, and I have to agree with you. I mean, I don't think that we are the first intelligent species, or even the